Good afternoon, everyone. We'll get started as soon as courtroom two comes online with us.
Good afternoon.
Mr. Coleman, if you are driving, I'm going to need for you to go off camera or stop driving for me. This is a court session, and I need you and everyone to conduct themselves as such. I appreciate it. Thank you, sir. We're happy to have you here, though.
Yes, Your Honor. I was pulling over. I was just trying to make sure I was on it too.
Okay, very good.
I apologize.
No worries. You're fine. Thank you. Afternoon, Miss Allen.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Your Honor.
Miss Ellis as well. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Courtroom two, we are ready whenever you all are. ACDC, I see that you've joined us. Are you all ready to proceed?
Your Honor, I'm going to get him right now. I'll be right back.
Okay, thank you, Officer Milton.
You're welcome.
Can we mute Trayana's iPhone, please?
Yes, sir. I'm here.
Yes, yes, ma'am. If you can mute your iPhone here for me, we can hear your child in the
Oh,
background.
okay.
Thank you. Courtroom two, are we ready to proceed?
Yes, Judge, we're probably gonna have that same problem like we did yesterday, going on and off, but we can proceed.
Okay, thank you. We'll try to be mindful. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Judge Eric Morrow. This is the State Court Expedited Accusation Calendar that we're conducting by video. You have a right to remain silent. Anything you say can be used against you. You have a right to have an attorney present at these proceedings. We're providing you with the assistance of a public defender this afternoon if you choose to utilize their service. Who do we have first there?
We can start with, 11, position 8, sorry.
Okay,
Your Honor, just before we proceed, position 2 needs to be off the live stream and maybe a breakout room, but just so we can put that to the end, please.
okay. Thank you, Ms. Dunlap. Is that the case that's going to require the interpreter?
Yes, Judge.
Okay, so let's place that last. Good afternoon, Mr. Cho. I appreciate you being here this afternoon. We'll be with you as soon as we can. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome. And before me, I believe this is James. Is that correct?
Sir.
Good afternoon. You have been charged in case 25 CR 002281E with theft by shoplifting, contributing to the delinquency of a minor, 2 counts. It's my understanding that this is Miss James's first arrest. Yes, Miss Allen.
Thank you, Your Honor. One moment. This is an incident from yesterday, the 1st of May. Takes place at the CVS at 2429 MLK Junior Drive Southwest. There, police were notified that this individual in front of you, along with 2 juveniles, a 13-year-old and a 15-year-old, were caught on surveillance cameras coming into the location and taking about $44 worth of food items. A description was provided for the 3 individuals, and they were located nearby in possession of those items. The defendant in front of you is 19, has a prior theft by taking arrest from 2019 that has no dispositional information. In this case, Your Honor, we're asking for a $3,000 SOB through pretrial, no drugs, alcohol, or weapons, to stay away from that CVS at 2429 MLK Junior Drive, and no contact with the minors JB and SW. Thank you.
Good afternoon, Mr. Chataya. Any objection to any of the state's requests?
Good afternoon, Judge Morrow. I have no objection to the state's request.
Okay. As such, for the theft, it'll be $1,000 signature bond through pretrial level 1. For each of the contributing to delinquency charges will be a $500 signature bond through pretrial level 1. Makes for a total of a $2,000 signature bond through pretrial level 1. Stay away from that CVS on MLK Drive. No further contact with the 2 minors. No drugs, alcohol, weapons while out on bond. Good luck to you, Ms. James.
Next, we can do position 11, Ms. Mack.
Good afternoon, Ms. Mack. You have been charged in case 25 CR 002296G with criminal trespass and damage to property, disorderly conduct, and terroristic threats and acts. Is there a history, Mr. Howard?
No.
Ms. Allen?
Thank you, Your Honor. This defendant is 18. This is an incident that occurred yesterday, May the 1st, at the high school located at 2405 Herndon Road. A teacher there reported that at about 8:15 in the morning, the student had been asked to leave. She was in the hallway. She refused, stating she was waiting for someone. Again, she was asked to remove herself from the hallway. She cussed at staff, started hurling insults at them. Ashley Buist, one of the assistant principals, was asked to come and meet with the student and the staff member and teacher. While entering the cafeteria, the defendant's described as heated, using profane language, on the phone with her mom, and she was escorted to the office where she kept telling police and telling her teachers to stop fucking with me. She knocked over the hand sanitizer on the wall. She was pulling aggressively from safety officers, causing a scene in the hallway. She had to be placed into restraints. She told the principal that she would assault her if she wasn't in restraints. She said, "I will pull up on you where you shop with my people and do something to you." Body camera footage and school surveillance camera footage was uploaded showing all of these things. Multiple witnesses were provided statements about being present for this behavior. We're asking for a SOB through pretrial, 1 day of anger awareness, 30 hours of community service, no drugs, alcohol, or weapons, and a requirement that the defendant attend school. And we'd request a parental cosigner.
Fine.
Your Honor, no objection. I've tried 4 phone numbers, 2 of which are simply a last digit variation because the young lady is not sure. I've been trying her stepdad. I've been trying her mom. I'm just trying to get an adult.
Okay, are we certain that the, you all may not be able to answer this as of yet, but are we certain that the school is accepting her back at the present time? I don't want to order her
I
to do
actually
something.
don't know that. I don't know that.
Okay, so if she can't attend school, I want her to, but I also understand that if there's a suspension or something of that nature that might be pending.
If you'd
Mr.
like to hold this one, I can see if we can reach out to the school and get some information in addition to some family contact information, seeing as this young lady doesn't know a phone number for any adult or parent.
Okay,
And we can provide some more info for the court later in the calendar.
thank you, Ms. Allen.
Yeah.
Yes, your client has her hand up. If she's able to provide you with any further information, Mr. McLean, I'm happy to take that right now. But if it's something else, of course, Ms. Mack, I don't want you getting yourself into trouble by because you do have a right to remain silent. So, do you have?
Her mother's on the Zoom, Your Honor. She just made a comment in the chat.
Oh, okay.
That's
Where's her mother? Oh, yes.
On-
Is it Miss Mack? Can you come on speaker for me?
Yes, hello.
Yes, so you come on video for, is this Kawana? I have a Tawana and a Kawana.
Um, it's Kawana.
Okay,
Kawana. It's Kawana.
okay, so Ms. Mack, you are Ayana's mother?
Yes.
Okay, can you raise your right hand for me, please? Do you swear affirm the testimony you're about to give before this court be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Okay, you can place your hand down. What would you like to tell me, ma'am?
So yeah, she will be able to return to school after 15 days of suspension.
Okay, and aside from school, is she active in any other activities?
Yes, she played basketball.
Anything else that you want to tell me about your daughter?
Yes, sir. With this entire incident that happened, it's not like her. I'm not sure what happened. I haven't really got a back end story about what went on, but I do know that she did call me in the midst of everything that was going on, and I was just trying to calm her down. And I did inform the adults around to give me a call. Nobody gave me a call. They just, kept going back and forth with her. And she's not the type to get angry. She look at her schoolwork and she don't get in trouble at school, period. A and B student, like I don't know what happened that triggered her to get angry like that. She don't even have an anger management problem at all.
Okay. And I'm going to require Ms. Mack that you be a co-signer for her. Is that something that you're able and willing to do?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And this is the correct spelling of your name that's on the screen here? Kawana-Mack.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Thank you. I appreciate you being here this afternoon, Ms. Mack. Mr. McLean, anything further? I'm going to give her an SOB through pretrial and to be released to her mother there. Anything further?
Thank you, Your Honor. Can the mom put her email in the chat so that the pretrial services office email her the link?
You should have the link, McLean.
Well, I'm not with my computer right now. I'm doing Zoom on my iPhone. But I did send the link the other day to somebody, so I probably can do it that way anyway, since my iPhone does function.
Let's just go ahead, Ms. Mack. If you'll do that for me, for us, Ms. Mack, we'd greatly appreciate it, okay? And you may want to call down to the jail before you go so that you can make sure. It might take a little time before she's released, but she will be released as soon as she can be processed out. As for the bond, it will, for the criminal trespass, well, for all of the counts will be $1,000 signature bond through pretrial level 1, makes for a total of a $3,000 signature bond through pretrial level 1. I'd like her to have 1 day anger awareness. I want her to stay in school after that suspension is lifted. And while she has that suspension, she should be able to do that 1 day of anger awareness. No drugs, alcohol, or weapons while out on bond, and the parental co-signer of Ms. Kawana-Mack. All right. Good luck to you all. Good luck to you all.
Excuse me, Judge, may I ask a question? If it's permissible?
Yes,
please?
ma'am. Yes, you're fine. Go ahead, Ms. Mack. You're fine. Go ahead, Ms. Mack.
This is her aunt, Ayana aunt. With the criminal trespassing charge, I thought criminal
Hold on, Miss Mack.
Trespassing.
Miss Mack. This is just a bond hearing. You'll be able
just
to
a
work all
bond
that.
hearing. Okay. Okay.
Okay?
All right. Thank you. All right.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
Next, we can do position 3.
Good afternoon, Mr. Clark. You have been charged in case 25 CR 002290E with simple battery, family violence, and willful obstruction of law enforcement officers. Is there a history, Mr. Howard?
8th arrest. On probation for battery DV obstruction out of state court. On probation for another battery out of state court. Another obstruction. Theft by taking simple battery family violence. Another obstruction. Got to open harassing communications in state court. Open simple battery DV. 2021 terrorist threats, obstruction, fleeing, and officer conviction.
Thank you. Let's see, who's presenting for the state?
I believe it's Mr. Coleman.
Well, I'm a defense attorney. I'm not presenting for the state.
And this is
I'm here, Your Honor.
Okay.
This is an
yes.
incident from December 29, 2024. So a warrant that's been outstanding for a period of time. Police report was filed by the victim, Lanita Jones Martin, Lanita, reporting that on scene at the location, specifically, she told officers that during an argument, the defendant had forcefully pulled her hair and then threatened to assault her. She made the police report, and the officer information includes that they actually relocated the victim to a hotel because the two of them were living together at the same location. The defendant refused verbal commands from the officer, refused to answer questions, and then went inside the location and refused to come out and engage. We've tried to get in touch with Mrs. Jones Martin today and haven't been successful. One moment. We are asking for a $4,000 surety bond, stay away from the location wherever she's currently living, and have no contact with her, no drugs, alcohol, or weapons while on bond, Your Honor, just based on the prior history. This is a case specifically out of Fairburn, and the address location at the time in December that this happened was 1052 Meadow Glen Circle. So I'm unsure if the defendant still resides there, and if he resides there with the victim. We weren't able to get her on the phone. But police were clearly there at the location for a period of time, assisted the victim in leaving the location. Thank you.
Ms. Allen, do you have any information for me on those open cases with state court? Okay, I'll go on if you can get me any information about those. Mr. Coleman, is this your client?
Yes, sir. Yes, Your Honor, it is.
Yeah,
And I actually
good
represent. Good afternoon. I actually represented him on the most recent state court case, and he is on probation on that case. One of his conditions of probation, he actually seeks treatment that he's going to. This incident that happened in December. The location is actually his home where he stays with his mother. So he does have the support of his mother. The young lady that was there does not live there. This was a young lady he had recently met, and she came by the house. Although it's not for today, the good thing about this case, he did record the incident. He was asking the young lady to leave the home, and she wouldn't leave. The argument was about her not leaving the house. She doesn't live there. She's never lived there. I don't even think he knows where she is because he doesn't know where she lives. While the state's asking for a $4,000 bond, I would ask the judge to give him a signature bond. He doesn't know this young lady. This is a young lady he had just met. Again, the good thing about this case, he did record the incident. He was asking her to leave. And he did that because he's had situations of this before. So he now knows what he needs to do to make sure that he's acting correctly. I will say he did not come out and talk to law enforcement. I believe that was because he was scared. That's what he's telling me. But he does know that while we try to resolve this issue, he won't be around her. He won't go near her. I don't even know if he knows how to contact her. Because again, this isn't an individual that he had known for long. But I would make sure that the court knows the residence is his mom's residence. That's where he lives at. So I would hope there would not be a stay away order from home, given that the young lady never resided there. And the ongoing issue at the time was he was asking her to leave, and she wouldn't leave.
Okay, thank you. If Miss Lanita Jones Martin is on the line and wishes to address the court, now is your opportunity. Doesn't appear so. Yes, Miss Allen.
So the two open cases that this defendant currently has, he's got one bond from October 2024 that Judge Law signed for harassing communications against Jasmine Sullivan. That's an SOB through the jail. It notes 3 other cases on the bond itself. No further contact with Jasmine Sullivan. He then came in and got a $2,000 good bond for a second case against her. The 2 cases he has against her are from October and, February and October of 2024. So he was out on bond with conditions related to family violence, no drugs, alcohol, weapons, and no contact with Mrs. Jasmine Sullivan when this incident occurred in December of 2024. And that's the reason why we're asking for the bond that we're requesting. The information is not that the defendant refused to come out and speak to police. He came out and spoke to police and told them to leave, and then went back inside and refused verbal commands. Thanks, Your Honor.
Okay, thank you both. For the simple battery, it'll be $1,000 good bond. For the obstruction, a $500 good bond, makes for a total of a $1,500 good bond. No further contact with Miss Lanita Jones-Martin. No drugs, alcohol, weapons while out on bond. Good luck to you, Mr. Clark. Anything further this afternoon, Mr. Coleman?
No, Your Honor. Thank you.
All right, have a good weekend. Thank you.
You too. Thank you.
This position 1, Mr. Bradley.
Afternoon, Mr. Bradley. You have been charged in case 25 CR 002284F with battery. Is there a history, Mr. Howard?
23 on probation for ag assault, 22 SC 184774. On probation for another ag assault, possession of a knife or a firearm during the commission, 22 SC 184101.
Your Honor, this is an incident from December the 17th of 2024. So again, a warrant was obtained after some investigation and it's been outstanding. The victim in this case is Virgil McGee. This took place at the 24/7 food market at 387 Cleveland Avenue Southwest between 1 and 3 in the afternoon. Surveillance footage captures Mr. McGee at the location with a friend of his at the gambling machine there. The defendant pulls up in his vehicle, exits his vehicle and walks inside, approaches the victim, Mr. McGee, and then starts to repeatedly strike him with a closed fist in his face, also strikes him in his body at one point, and then flees, getting back into the same vehicle.
Miss Allen, I'm sorry. I don't mean to interrupt you, but I think we've lost courtroom 2.
Okay.
So we'll have to wait till they come back with us.
Good afternoon, Judge. I guess while we're waiting, can we do ACDC?
Okay.
Is that okay?
Yeah, that's fine with me. You all are kind of going in and out on me also, so. Okay, who do we have there?
This is going to be position number 10, Miss Marby
Okay.
Mabry.
Good afternoon, Ms. Mabry. I'm Judge Eric Morrow. This is the State Court Expedited Accusation Calendar that we're conducting by video. You have a right to remain silent. Anything you say can be used against you. You have a right to have an attorney present at these proceedings. We're providing you with the assistance of a public defender this afternoon if you choose to utilize his service. Ms. Mabry, you've been charged in case 25 CR 002282J with battery, family violence, willful obstruction of law enforcement officers, and disorderly conduct. Is there a history, Mr. Howard?
Fit the rest. She just got theft convictions in her history. 2014 assault arrest.
Thank you. Ms. Allen?
Thank you, Your Honor. This is an incident from the 30th of April. This is a dual arrest. So the other party is position number 16, Mr. Watts. Both individuals were arrested because they both had injuries. Police were called to the location. I believe this defendant called 911. The location specifically is 265 Burbank. They met with the initial victim in this case, Herbert Williams. He's the boyfriend on and off of the defendant. He reported that he'd been staying at that location because of a power outage at his house, that the defendant had taken his vehicle without permission and refused to return it in a reasonable time frame. She came to the location demanding to speak with him and started banging on the windows and behaving in a disorderly way. He went inside. He was afraid he was going to be assaulted. The individuals who live at that location, the defendant, Mr. Watts, and his girlfriend, first his girlfriend went outside and tried to talk to Mrs. Mabry, let her know that Mr. Williams was not going to come outside and speak with her, and asked her to leave. Mrs. Williams, Mrs. Mabry, excuse me, didn't like that. She told the police that she went and approached the front door after being told to leave. And that's when Mr. Watts came outside, and she says Mr. Watts punched her in the face. She was seen to have a laceration to her face. She said that she was thrown down on the ground by Mr. Watts, who's the resident of that location, whose girlfriend had just told her she needed to leave. At that point, Mr. Williams came outside. He said he heard the altercation. He heard that the defendant was being told to leave. And he reported, and Mrs. Mabry also reported, that she then assaulted Mr. Williams, and Mr. Williams had scrapes on his neck. So in her anger at not being able to get to Mr. Williams and talk about, I guess, a car, she assaulted the defendant, or the victim who lives there, who then responded by striking her, and he was arrested. And then she assaulted Mr. Williams when he came outside. When police encountered Mrs. Mabry, they'd already spoken to folks on the scene, and she came walking down the street with a large stick in her hand and was described as disorderly. When they went to detain her, after she told them what had happened, she resisted arrest. She avoided being cuffed and was pulling her hands away. She had to actually be apprehended. We're asking for a $3,000 surety, no contact with Mr. Watts, and no contact with Mr. Herbert Williams. To stay away from that location, 265 Burbank, no drugs, alcohol, or weapons, and a social worker visit if that's something that the defense believes is also appropriate. We tried to get in touch with Mr. Williams today, but have not been successful yet. If you'd sound for him, Herbert Williams.
Mr. Williams is on the line and wishes to address the court. Now is your opportunity. Doesn't appear so. Mr. Chitaya? Okay, I think that he is frozen now.
It worked, but recently
we lost you, Mr. Chitaya. So can you start over for me?
yes, I can start over.
Okay.
All right. So, like I was saying, Your Honor, my client's 37. She's lived in the Atlanta area for the past 4 years. She has an aunt that lives here as well as cousins. She got through school as far as the 11th grade. She currently doesn't have a job, so she likely wouldn't be able to afford the bond that the state's asking for. But prior to not having a job, she worked as a waitress for about 2 years. And apart from that, Your Honor, I would object to the no contact order and would just ask for a no further violent contact order instead, since my understanding is that she lives with Mr. Williams. And given those factors, Your Honor, I ask this court to consider the lowest surety amount possible that would be reasonable for Ms. Mabry.
Okay, Mr. Williams is not here, is my understanding, and I don't think that anyone's spoken to him, Mr. Chataya. So until someone speaks to him and gets his wishes, then there will be a stay away in place. But if in the future someone speak with him and he'd like contact, I'm certainly open to modification of the bond. As for today, the battery will be a $2,000 signature bond through pretrial. Level 2 for each of the other charges will be a $1,000 signature bond through pretrial level 2, makes for a total of a $4,000 signature bond through pretrial level 2. No further contact with either Mr. Williams or Mr. Watts. Stay away from the Burbank address. She can go back to that address if necessary on one occasion with law enforcement to retrieve any belongings. No drugs, alcohol, weapons while out on bond. Good luck to you, Ms. Mabry.
I'll explain to you. Just put that for me. Next, Judge, I have position number 13, Ms. Milborn.
Okay. It's my understanding that we might need a break, go off YouTube for Ms. Milborn. Is that right, Mr. McLean?
That is correct, Your Honor. Milborn and Mr. Jackson, correct.
Okay, very good. So if we can, Ms. Grace, if we can go off the YouTube, please.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.